JBNN will keep you informed. I'm Michelle Jones, and in the news, BB Coke student who allegedly beat schoolmate unconscious, suspended for 10 days. The male student is accused of knocking a schoolmate unconscious for stepping on his shoes after classes ended on Thursday at the BB Coke High School in St. Elizabeth has been suspended for 10 days. This was confirmed by the school's chairman, Sidney Holness, while speaking in an interview on Friday.
We have sent a letter to the parents today, giving the troubled child 10 days suspension. And before that 10 days expire, we will be meeting with him at the personnel committee level, where we will decide his fate. It is a bad incident, and he can get the maximum penalty,
which is expulsion.
And that is suspension.
Wait, suspension or expulsion?
Expulsion.
6-year-old boy shot dead by gunmen in Duane Park. A 6-year-old boy was shot dead by gunmen on Thetford Avenue in Duane Park, St. Andrew, Saturday morning. He has been identified as Marquino Tingling, who was killed when gunmen fired on a vehicle he was being transported in. The vehicle was being driven by the child's father. It was reported that around 7:30 a.m., the father had just driven from their house in a white Toyota Hiace when it was alleged that a white Toyota Probox motor car with 2 armed men aboard drove up. The men, police said, opened gunfire to the rear of the Hiace, shooting up the vehicle and hitting Marquino in the back of the head. The father reportedly drove to the Duane Park police station and sought assistance to the hospital. A police unit transported the injured child to the Kingston Public Hospital, where he was pronounced dead. No motive has been established for the attack, the police said. 2 men gunned down moments apart in St. Anne. 2 men were shot and killed moments apart in Civil Heights, sentenced in St. Anne on Sunday morning. The deceased are 37-year-old Tyrone Duffus, a laborer, and 40-year-old O.J. Grant, otherwise called Rooster, an electrician, both of Civil Heights addresses. According to police reports, around 12:05 a.m., Duffus was at a shop in the community when he was pounced upon by gunmen who shot him several times. Lawmen say the gunmen then went to Grant's home in close proximity to the shop, kicked open his door, and opened fire at him. The police were called to both scenes of crime. Duffus and Grant were taken to hospital where they were pronounced dead. Police are yet to establish a motive for the killing. 3 teenagers and a man arrested for attempted burglary. 4 people have been taken into custody after the police foiled a burglary attempt in St. Elizabeth. Among those in custody are 3 teenagers and a man believed to be the grandfather of one of the minors. Head of the St. Elizabeth Police Division, Acting Superintendent Coolidge Minto, says all 4 are expected to be charged.
This morning, the Black River Police responded to a case of burglary. At the end of the operation, 4 persons were held, 3 being teenagers, 2 15-year-old, 1 19-year-old, and another senior gentleman who is said to be the grandfather of one of the boys. The persons were arrested and taken to the Black River Police Station, where they will be charged. I want to make another point though, because 2 of the students are from 2 prominent high schools in this parish, and as part of the intervention that we will be seeking to establish is to help these young boys to be part of a mentorship program, whether through the Police Youth Club or the Jamaica Combined Cadet Force. We have already started conversations with the colonel that is in charge of the 10th Battalion, and we will be seeking to have as many of our youngsters in this parish to be part of these uniform groups that we can help in shaping their character and shaping the individuals that we want in society. Our investigations continue regarding this matter. The items that were being taken from the house that was being broken into have been recovered, and we are now processing the scene and ensuring that the investigation will be completed and the persons taken before our parish court in Black River. During the operation, the car that was used as the vehicle to transport the young men, the driver drove off on seeing the police and subsequently crashed into a light post. Both the driver and another occupant in the vehicle was held along with the 2 teenagers that were already inside the house. The vehicle was taken up by a wrecker, taken to the station, where it will be further processed by our scenes of crime persons.
Cops removed from frontline duties in probe of escape at hospital in St. Anne. 2 members of the constabulary force who were on duty at the time of the escape of the man charged with the sexual assault and murder of St. Anne schoolgirl Talia Thomas have been removed from frontline duties as a major investigation is being undertaken. Troy Ellis, 27, escaped from the St. Anne's Regional Hospital on Saturday night where he was being treated. The police say Ellis, who has been formally charged with rape and murder, has several serious wounds to his face and upper body. He reportedly attempted suicide after allegedly sexually assaulted the 8-year-old girl and stabbing her to death. The attack happened in the community of Discovery Bay in St. Anne. The police said the Inspectorate and the Professional Standards Oversight Bureau is probing the circumstances of Ellis' escape. A full report is expected to be submitted to the police commissioner by the end of the day. The police say all available resources from the St. Anne Division have been deployed to recapture Ellis. Residents in the immediate environs of the hospital or anyone with information about his whereabouts are being urged to report any suspicious activity to the police at 119, to Crime Stop at 311, or to the NIB tip line at 811. Residents should expect to see a heavy police presence in the area and are being asked to cooperate with the authorities. Persons are reminded that harboring a felon is a crime. Hotel worker dies in motor vehicle accident in Trelawney. A female hotel worker died as a result of injuries she sustained during a motor vehicle accident in Trelawney on Sunday morning. The deceased has been identified as 30-year-old Jenquia Johnson, affectionately called KK, of Bottup, Alberton in the parish. Reports are that about 6:30 a.m., Johnson was on her way to work in a white Toto Markets motor car. While traveling along the Hydall Main Road, the driver was reportedly attempting to negotiate a corner when he lost control of the vehicle, which plunged into a ditch. All 3 occupants of the vehicle sustained injuries and were taken to the Falmouth Public General Hospital, where Johnson was pronounced dead. The other 2 are still being treated. The Trelawney police are investigating. Man charged following gun and ammo seizure in Kingston. A 32-year-old man was arrested on charge with illegal possession of firearm and ammunition following a seizure by the Jamaica Defence Force, JDF, at the intersection of 1st and 7th Avenues, Greenwich Farm in Kingston on Saturday. He is Rolando Rainford, otherwise called J.R. and Bogart, of 7th Avenue in the parish. Reports from the Hunts Bay Police are that about 6:50 p.m., a team of JDF members were on foot patrolling the area when they saw Rainford in a stooping position, which aroused their suspicion. He was accosted and searched, and a 9mm Beretta pistol affixed with a magazine containing 15 rounds was found in his waistband. Rainford was taken to the Hunts Bay Police Station, where he was handed over to the police and charges laid against him. Calabar old boy rescued from the streets after 7 years. Theodore Mullings will hopefully see brighter days after he was taken off the streets of downtown Kingston recently. Theodore, a 34-year-old past student of Calabar High School, is said to have been homeless for over 7 years before he was taken to a nursing home by his brother Dominic Mullings on Saturday. The man's former living condition was highlighted by the popular Instagram page Pink Wall in September. This led to a flood of comments from Good Samaritans wanting to assist him in getting back on his feet, along with passers-by who have shared kind interactions with Theodore. It was described as pleasant by those who commented that he had asked them for a spare change during their commute through the area. It is understood that Theodore, affectionately called Theo, had fallen on hard times and was also exposed to hard drugs by associates. It is believed that he was a barrel child, as his parents are residing overseas. Barrel children are deemed to be abandoned or left behind by parents in their quest to seek better opportunities overseas. Kamar Jordan, Assistant Secretary for Calabar Old Boys Association, explained that he too was moved after coming across a social media post of his former schoolmate sitting on the street in downtown Kingston. Sharing that he knew Theodore during his time at the Old Boys Institution, Jordan said that he had to jump on board to organize some assistance for him. A lot of people shared the Pink Wall post with me, so I immediately made a comment and asked where he was because I wanted to locate him. The following day I went downtown and located him on King Street in the vicinity of the old Scotia building. Persons reached out that they wanted to help, but some were hesitant because he was still on the street, so they didn't want to give him resources, only to learn afterwards that he got robbed. But so far, I've collected a bag with some clothing items and I gave them to him in person, Jordan said. For Damik, coming across that social media post was heartbreaking. He said that he and his brother were born months apart and that they only met each other when they were both 21 years old. Damik shared that he was aware of his brother's living situation and had made efforts to assist him with food and other items in the past. I used to give my mother-in-law anything that I had to give him because I don't go downtown that often. But when I go downtown, I look for him and give him what I have, Damik said. Damik, the younger of the two, also noted that he brought groceries and other items to his brother last week, but they were stolen while he slept later that night. This, he said, pushed him to work towards his brother's relocation. Social media users who came across the post on Instagram speculated that Theodore had been living with mental illness. However, Damik said this is not true. Damik said that after transporting his brother to a nursing facility on Saturday, he learned that his brother was longing for love. When it comes to Theo, during an assessment at the home, the woman realized that he misses his family, especially his mom. He said that he would love to just talk to her. He also mentioned some sisters, but I'm not sure how many he has on his mom's side. We have one out here on our dad's side, Damik explained. He added, based on what I heard while she was assessing him, he got introduced to drugs, and that is what got him to where he is right now. It also seems like he needed his mom's love. Before this recent intervention by his family, Damik said his brother's high school friends also attempted to get him off the streets. His friends came together and organized to get him a place to stay in Duane Park, but after a few months, I heard that he ended up back downtown, he said. A comment under the initial social media post corroborated the story, as a man who identified himself as a schoolmate shared that he, along with other Calabar old boys, pulled resources to assist Theodore a few years ago. The man stated that after putting things in place to assist him with overcoming addiction, Theodore ran away one day. Addiction is a real thing, peeps. We tried, and there was a magnitude of help, but it was clear that he was hooked. Theodore Mullings was a smart youth when we attended Calabar. Don't know what cards were dealt to him, but this is his reality, the man added. Damik, too, shared that his brother had a bright future ahead of him. He is also hopeful that things will turn around for him. At the same time, Damik said that he is committed to helping his brother through these hard times and pointed out that getting him off the streets is the first step in achieving that. Their father and other family members are also on board, said Damik. On Saturday morning, I went to the nursing home to meet the caregivers and walked around the home to see how they had set it up. I saw that it was good for him, and I would want that for me if I was in his place. So I lined up the drive and went for him. He saw me and he said, Damik, wagwan, you come for me and now? Theo is no harm, he's not mad, he said, referring to the popular term used to describe people diagnosed with a mental illness. As the dust settles, Damik said he is looking forward to his brother's rehabilitation. He said that Theodore has shared the types of medication he's currently taking and has indicated that he's not hearing voices in his head, a question that was asked during his admittance to the nursing home. The plan is to get him on his feet. When he gets back on his feet, we want to rent somewhere for him. I don't want him anywhere too far from where I am. I'm hoping for somewhere that I can just walk to his yard. He told me that he has his subjects and he was going to college, so we really want to help him through this, said Damik. In the meantime, Jordan said that Good Samaritans are also seeking to assist in the man's rehabilitation. He said that plans are afoot to collaborate with Damik to see that Mullings receives all the assistance that he can get. I spoke to the lady at the home, and she said that people cannot just call to get access to him, so I know liaison with his brother. People have reached out to say that they want to help him, but I had to put some of them on standby, to put some structure in place, because we need transparency. People want to know that when they send stuff, he'll receive it, Jordan said. JBN, we keep you informed. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, leave us a comment, and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items.